Hi everybody, welcome back to our final Illustrator introductory lessons. So after you open Illustrator, we need to find the file called AI1-4. AI1-4, it's going to be in your handouts folder. And then once you open that up, we're actually going to do a save as, and we're going to call it Direct Selections. Direct Selections, right there. We're going to go to View, and where it says Smart Guides, we want to make sure that is unchecked. So uncheck Smart Guides. And with the Selection tool, we're going to select this green polygon right there. And we're going to go back to View, Guides, and Make Guides. And the polygon is now actually converted to something called a guide. We're also going to do the same thing with this purple starburst. Okay, we're going to convert it to a guide. So View, Guides, Make Guides. Okay, so we need to go back into View and Guides, and it either needs to say Lock Guides with a check mark next to it, or it needs to say Unlock Guides. But if it says Unlock Guides, that means our guides are locked, which is what we want. And with the Direct Selection tool, we're actually going to go to the edge of this red square. You're going to see these 4 anchors now, and since these are guides, we're going to drag those anchors to the corners of the guides. So you should have a shape now that is the exact same as the guides. Next, we're going to do something similar to this blue star. So again, using the Direct Selection tool, we're going to click in the center of the star. Then we're going to go to Object and Path and Add Anchor Points. Object, Path, Add Anchor Points. And we're just going to click anywhere on the artboard to deselect the star. And we're going to click the edge of the star. Okay, now we've got a bunch of different anchor points here. And we are going to take all of these anchor points. You're going to bring them out here into this starburst, just like you see going on. We're going to work clockwise to do that. When you are finished, your star should look just like this one. Next, we're going to be working with the objects down here. First of all, make sure that these 3 buttons are visible. If you click up here, they may not be visible. So if your tools look like that, you may need to click on this to make them visible. We need the Selection tool, and we're going to click the red rectangle. And we're going to go to Object, Arrange, and Send to Back. So that will send it behind objects. It's basically just changing the order that all these things are in. Next, we're going to go with the yellow path here. And we're going to go just send backward. That will just move it 1 level backward. Select the blue oval. We're going to bring it forward, moves it forward 1 level. And then finally the purple rectangle. After we select it, we're going to select the Draw Behind button right here. And then we need the Ellipse tool. Okay, after selecting the Ellipse tool, we are going to draw a circle. It's kind of centered here on the blue oval. And when we draw that, it actually appears that it's in front of everything, even though we did the draw behind, it's actually behind. And then if we take the eyedropper tool, we want to sample this red rectangle. So it's going to make it just like the red rectangle, and now you can see it's actually behind this one purple layer here. Then click on the Draw Normal button and save your work. And the last thing we're going to do with this document is down here. We are actually going to make these big squares resemble what's going on with these small squares. So we need the selection tool, and we're going to move them together just like this. But you'll notice that the blue square is on top completely of this orange one, whereas over here the orange line at the top goes over. So we're going to try to recreate that. We need to go to the Direct Selection tool next, and then click right here, and we're going to copy it. I'm just going to press Control-C. You can also go to Edit Copy. And then, supposedly, if we click on this blue intersecting line and then paste, I think it's supposed to actually go right on top, but it's over here, and that's okay. I'll just come up here and click and drag it down, and now it appears that they look the same as they do up here. Save your work, and then you can close this document. Alright, for this last lesson in Chapter 1, we're going to look at working with multiple artboards. First thing we need to check is that we need to go to View and make sure Smart Guides is not on. And then we're going to go to File, New, and probably need to go over here to, well, actually that doesn't really matter. But in this section we're going to need to click on More Settings. Actually, let me back up. This should say inches. Make sure that says inches. And then click on More Settings. And then we're going to have several things that we're going to need to do here. Alright, so make sure your window has all of this stuff in it, including winning business collateral, 3 artboards. Make sure this grid by column is selected. There's your width and height, 2 rows, and so on. Once all that is set, then click on Create Document, or OK. And your window should now look like this. Click on the Selection tool, and then you can click on, if it's hard to tell, when you click on each artboard, it makes that particular artboard active. There's a light black line around it showing that each one is active. Okay, we want to click on the top right artboard, then View on the menu bar, and we want to fit artboard in window. So you can see what that looks like. And then we can also go to View and fit all in window, and we'll go back to that. Alright, so I'm going to click on the Artboard tool next, and then this little thing over here should appear. It's the Artboards panel, basically. And there should be a button here that says New Artboard. That's going to create a new artboard. And then I'm going to move it down here. So I need to rearrange it a little bit. And then click on the top right artboard here, and this one we're going to delete. Okay, making sure the artboard tool is still selected. We can also click and drag to draw artboards. So you're going to want to draw one just like that. We can also use the Alt tool. Notice how I'm hovering over it, and when I press Alt we get this double arrow. We can then click and drag down to create another artboard. Okay, next we're going to go with this bottom left artboard, and you can rename your artboards. So we're going to go up here to the name box, and we're going to call it Bookmark. This bottom right one we're going to call Buck Slip. I'm not sure what that means. Top left one should be letterhead. And this one is going to be biz card front. And this one, biz card back. Next, we're going to do some resizing and rearranging of the book, or the artboards, excuse me. We need to select the bookmark artboard, and we're going to make it 2 inches wide. The buck slip one, we're going to make it 4 inches wide and 6 inches in height, so like that. The 2 business cards, they need to be 3.5 by 2, both of them. Just like that. And then we're going to rearrange them. Okay, so buck slip needs to be up here, and your bookmark, letterhead should be right there. Biz card front and biz card back, just like that. I actually left out one small step here. The letterhead, we need to resize it as well. We're going to use a preset resize, so we're going to use letter. So it makes it a little bit bigger than it was. And then business cards need to be right beside it. Okay, after that, we are going to open a file. It's in handouts. It's called Winning Logo. Winning Logo. So we'll go ahead and open that. And we need to select all or Control A and edit copy or Control C. And then we can close this. Okay, and if you look down here, okay, the artboard navigation, there's a, I suppose you can probably just click on those for different artboards, but you can also use this. We're going to go to letterhead, so it makes letterhead active, and we're going to go to edit paste, or you can do Control V, and we want to then move, oops, probably going to need to use the selection tool, and we're going to move it right up there in the upper left hand corner. Okay, we need to edit and copy that again, and let's go to the buck slip, and this time we're going to go to edit and paste in place. It's actually going to put it in the exact same spot relative to where we had it on the letterhead. And then we can also go to edit and paste on all artboards. And if we were to zoom out here, I think we're going to see that that has now been pasted on all of our artboards. We can go to View and Fit All in Window to see what it looks like. And that has been pasted on everything. Save your work, and you are done.